we are back with another episode of Let's Talk. This time we'll be exploring Asian culture, Asian society. Hope that's the right word. I just say Asian. I say Asian because I've heard that's the right way to say. But I've heard like you guys aren't like.
No, so like nowadays, because Asia is a whole country.
Yeah.
Right now I represent like maybe more of the Chinese and Vietnamese background. So like that's going to be what we're going to be exploring.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, I think it's now time to actually acknowledge the different countries in Asia. Because like then you would say Russia's in Asia.
Yeah.
And then India is also in Asia.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think we're getting better. Like maybe we're doing less of the Asian, actually saying like Japanese, Filipino, Thai, and all that stuff.
Yes. So we're back with a Chinese and Vietnamese episode. I will also ask about that later because I still have to understand that a little more. But we're joined with a good friend of mine, Michael Tia. I guess we'll just get right into it. Describe yourself and kind of say who you are, like where you come from.
Yeah. I'm Michael. I've been on like living off the East Coast like pretty much all my life here in Virginia, and that's kind of where like my experience has been. I'm a firstborn generation of Chinese American. My father and my mother left maybe in like the 70s during like some rough war times and things. Like my dad came in overseas, lost several brothers and sisters, so there are people I don't even know for uncles and aunts. And he was actually in a camp also after leaving Cambodia. And then my mom also left Vietnam during like a rough time, maybe closer to the start of the Vietnam War. And they kind of just came in for, again, better opportunities. They met maybe like in the 80s when they were kind of doing college. My dad worked a ton of like food, restaurant hires, things like that. My mom just kind of worked wherever she could with like nail salons, hair things. They met a little bit in college, got together, and then since then I was born in like the 90s and I've been like that. I'm like the oldest of four siblings, so I'm like the eldest son of the family, and that's a bit of who I am. And then I grew up pretty much all in Virginia and Nova, which pretty diverse areas, so I was kind of fortunate to grow up around here.
Cool, great. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So, you're with your background, so what really is America to you? Like, what does America mean to you and your community?
Yeah, see, I think I really believe in that whole melting pot. Like, growing up, it was just like a mix of everything. Like, I think over time, my identity was always more about like the behaviors of people. I don't know if that was just like a thing, but like growing up, my family made sure I spoke English all the time. They didn't want me to get set back in education or learning. They mostly were also working like 24/7. I didn't really get to see them too much. My dad would only come home like late at night to just come home, maybe have a dinner, go to bed. He worked the United States Postal Service, and then from there my mom just kind of like bounced from different job to job, just figuring out what she can do physically. And so that's where like most of it's melting pot. Like I interacted with like here's like a ton of Spanish community and I guess like like black people all around here, and then like Asians was actually very small. Like growing up, I was probably like on a handful of the few Asians in the entire school that I could actually see, and we weren't even like from the same background. Like I would be like the one Chinese kid, there'd be like the one Korean kid or one other Vietnamese, and they didn't like take me too many areas or communities where there's a lot of Asians. I think I grew up with a few. Like when we found neighbors, we would like stick real close. There'd be like one or two of us. But I always grew up, since they were never around, I was always running around the neighborhood, hanging out with every single kid in the block.
Yeah. So I guess that goes back to my previous question. Like, there's like distinctions. There are different Asian people. There's Chinese people, Korean people. But do you all like consider yourself family, like Asian people?
It's weird. I think in America, like we kind of just hung close because I mean, if you're really in the community, but like at school, at least for me, it was more of like, yeah, well, you're not Asian, but then after a while, I just hung out with everybody. I mean, growing up, I had like a ton of like white friends, people growing up, and I had a few like black friends. It's just whoever was mostly around, to be honest, like as a kid.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I always wondered about that. Like everybody like. A lot of people from Asia that I've talked to, they'll identify with like a certain like people or certain people from a different region, but they'll like say they're Asian, like Indians. Like
Mhm.
Indians are Asian,
Right.
but I've heard like there's like disputes between Asian communities that you would call like racism. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
So that kind of feeds into my next question. Like, what is Asian hate? Like, what is like stop Asian hate?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I experienced it a lot more when I'm like older. As a kid, I think because I was a diverse background, I didn't really get like an Asian hate. Stuff I looked up online was like, oh, like you bring the weird food at home. Like one, my parents would cook at home and eat, but we wouldn't like bring it to school. We would actually go buy off the school lunches and just kind of go off with that. So I grew up eating just all the like breakfast foods, American foods. At home, I would eat all like more of like the natural Asian foods or Chinese foods that we would eat and Vietnamese foods. The Asian hate, I would say, was like maybe like during COVID, I really like saw that, like, you know, just me going out as I got older, traveling outside. Like I went to like the South Carolinas, North Carolinas, or even going to Pennsylvania, where it's like you really see it's a sea of honestly just like white people, and I'm like the one Asian in the town that I could really feel. I'm like, I walk through a Walmart and I'll be like, oh, this feels a little bit different from where I am. So like, sorry to feel like the difference, like the stares of like, oh man, there's like this one big dude. I think what saved my butt was that I was always a big guy, so it's like, if I was like a scrawny Asian, I felt like people picked up on me more. But just because like I'm a big dude, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna eyeball you, and I can see like people just like stare. And that's about it. So I think I have a whole different experience with it.
Okay, so Asian hate is mainly from like outsiders being hateful towards Asians?
Yeah,
okay.
I would say mostly. And then if you talk about like internal, like with
because I've heard like there's internal like racism. I don't know, because you're all Asian and Asian is a race, so I wouldn't call it racism.
So I wouldn't call it racism. It's more like national hate. So like even modern today, you would see more it's because of like our history.
Yeah,
and I think we have more of a historical hate.
Yeah.
So like we had like China, even though it was big, you know, had like tons of countries unified as one. But then like World War II, for example, like Japan came in and encroached, took over a lot of stuff, and did terrible things to Chinese people. So there was just a lot of back and forth, like, yeah, we just don't like, you know, Japanese in terms of like the nations. But me personally, like I never grew up like that. I think my parents never really did anything too crazy about that. Like they just talked to everyone, was mostly nice to everyone, and they didn't at least discriminate. They had prejudices, but they just, you know, they didn't like grow up like, oh, you should stay away from at least like these other Asians. In fact, because we are outside in America, we would kind of try to get close to any Asians as much possible.
So in America, you didn't see that more so nationalism hate that you see over in Asia?
No, I wouldn't see that as much here. I mean, I think as I grew older though, like talking to older aunties and uncles, you might see that more often. And I think as kids, there were just different prejudices that I was told to kind of like keep away from and just focus on school and things. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a different tier. So like, you know, the like Thailand, Taiwan, Japan,
I've heard about
China,
that.
Korea. I don't know. I have to like find a diagram like, oh, who dislikes each other so much because of historical stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do you believe like stop Asian hate? Stop Asian hate is real, but do you believe like there would be like Asian people who like kind of fuel that by like giving out those weird hateful prejudices towards other Asian groups?
I mean, if I was hanging out with much older, there'd be a little bit like, oh, you shouldn't like. It's weird because, again, from like my perspective, I was the rebellion, so like I didn't do anything what my parents told me. But I kind of heard sentiments of like other friends, where like, yeah, who do you date? Like, you should be looking for a Chinese girl, or that's who I should be dating more of, or other people, but you want to date more of people of your own nationality. So
do you think that's a good thing?
Nah, I'm actually more about the mix. I'm different. I mean, my wife, she's black, so it's and it's more of like, because I looked at like the personality. Like I've dated different people from different backgrounds, but the first thing that always caught me was just how they treat other people, and I was just fortunate to just think that way. And I think a lot of it came up from the TV shows and animes I watched, to be honest.
Yeah, that helps a lot, especially with people our age. There's still a whole bunch of crazy ones though, like
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, it was like, what's your crazy? 'Cause I don't actually know your, like, you said you were from South Bend.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's like the demographic there actually. Really,
It's there's a lot of white people. There's black communities. There's big black communities there. So
Yeah.
we get to find a lot of each other. It's generally good. We don't have there are hateful people there, but it's not too bad. We can navigate life and find good people who don't have that hate in them.
All right. So growing up, was there like a lot of Asians, like other like Indians
Not
that
too
you know?
many, to
No?
be honest.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Like growing up in school, I met one Indian person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then like out of school, I met another Indian person, but
Is that like middle school, high school, or
no, just high school. It was like junior year high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so there wasn't too many Indian people. There was some Chinese people. One of my friends. There was more Chinese people. It's not a big community.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. You just like see. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah, because I would find like my parents would look for like the Chinatowns, and we would hang out there as much. But for us, like they would have us grow in neighborhoods that are just like with anybody. They weren't like honing in on like homes or where we were moved to. Like we weren't like, oh, we didn't want to be like as much Asians. They just kind of moved to wherever looked good so far.
Okay.
So I think that kind of helped. But I think because they don't interact too much with neighbors, so like they're just kind of also social. Like, they just kind of chill with them. So I think it didn't matter where they moved to.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so that was a question I had on Asian hate because I didn't really get that too much. I didn't really get if it was like, because I believe all hate fuels each other. So like if you have hate here, like let's say if I was racist towards wherever, I could like fuel hatred towards another, like from another person to also be like hateful towards not the people I'm talking about, but it could be like towards Africans or towards white people. I believe all hate fuels each other. When I say like I'm on the side of stop all hate.
Yeah.
From everywhere, like inwards, outwards, all communities. You know what I'm saying? Like in Mexico, stop the hate there. In America, stop the hate there. In Brazil, stop the hate there. Everybody has their own internal hate towards like either their group or another group, or like there's larger definitions of like racism where it's like black and white, and you know what I'm saying? I believe in just stopping it all. You know what I'm saying?
And I think I believe the same thing as well. And I think this is like today we've gone so extreme where I think over the course of our talks, just like hanging out, and even recently I was thinking about like the racism and stuff that my parents grew up with, or was not necessarily racism, it's more prejudices.
Prejudice stuff, yeah.
Because like they'll definitely say like, oh, you shouldn't hang out with like those kids over there, and that could just be a mix of two things. Of one is like, you don't want to be with other blacks. But the point of it actually, like if you dig a little bit further past like their language and things, like they say it's more like don't want to be like the less educated, which is a terrible stereotype in racism. But that
goes to another point. So
yeah, what you have going about like that? Because that's like the vibe. Most like they just don't want to be anyone less educated, less making money.
So my thing is, where do those thoughts come from? Because my thinking is there's not a lot of black Americans in those countries. No. And, if they were to come here, where did that thinking came from? Like they didn't know us. They didn't know anything about us.
No, I mean, I'd say over time, like after battling like deep talks with my dad and like butting heads with it, like because like I grew up here, like oh, it sounds like you're being racist, and then over time, perspective gave me prejudices. Like he grew up from like poverty areas, like that's because broken down apartments. So like he probably observed like, well, every time he's in these areas, it's a mix of like white and blacks, but I guess he saw a lot of blacks. Because we're in like Nova, so DC, like he grew up a lot around DC, and a lot of it was covered by like like I guess they would call it like low poverty areas with a lot of black people around, and then over time that's just kind of like solidified of this black, but it's more of like low education, just terribly worded over time, and still I think it's still a prejudice because like it's funny
because what also goes into that is history.
I would say
I feel like a lot of
history,
like a lot of foreigners when they come in, they don't know the history, and then they just put what they see on the world. But if like I were to go to like China or Vietnam, I have to look at the history to understand why the people are the way they are.
Yeah,
but I feel like we don't get a lot of leeway here.
Yeah, and I don't know why is there different, because like my dad didn't have TV back then, so like he didn't know like what that is. So after talking to him, it's like it's purely his life expectations or experiences where he was in these poor areas, he saw a lot of that, and these were the people, and he started associating with that and over. So he started I guess I don't know if it's because of looking to the history of the systemic issues with black injustice because of the white people and all the slavery and the colonialism.
Does he know about Black American history?
I wouldn't say no. He really is, because he's so disconnected from China, and it's funny, he talks a lot about Chinese history. It's not like he's just his blinders is I just want to reconnect to China and feel close to that, and that's all it matters to him. That's why there's no racism or hate. He works with everybody. He works with tons.
But American history, Black history is the Chinese American history is mixed in with that. How I said with Jim Crow. Jim Crow had laws towards Chinese people and Black people.
Yeah, I think going back to the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is education. My dad doesn't have a high school degree. He kind of went through it, got I guess a high school degree, went to college for a little bit, but then he had to work. So I think it's just education. He didn't have time to learn. Honestly, he worked 2-3 jobs.
Lived.
Yeah. Did whatever he could to focus on money and whoever he met along the way, and that's how he just shaped his experiences that way. And really smart guy, but I'm the one that's teaching him about all these type of histories just because I went through a public school and they taught me.
Yeah. Real life, what happened here, because history matters.
Yeah, it does.
History does matter.
And I believe our education system sucks on teaching that.
Because it's just crazy here. So it's they'll teach some of it, but it is so crazy.
I would be fortunate because I watch Abbott Elementary, and you see Jacob, the white guy, who's teaching the Black history because he really understands, but he also appreciates it. I actually had teachers like that in my school, so they weren't whitewashing it down or desensitizing it just because it's for kids. They were legitimately telling you, no, these were the Irish were terribly suffering, the Mexicans were suffering, the Chinese suffered through all the transcontinental railroad and the Chinatown burnings. That's why I said over time I learned oh well, how am I been lucky to hit this education jackpot, which just they're telling me the real history, and I grew up having appreciation for just everybody. But I don't know if you had what were the stuff that you didn't get to learn in history? I mean, did they even talk much about did you only grow up learning just the white and Black history, and not even
white,
any other?
Black, Mexican. We learned about the Vietnam War. Learned a little bit about China. To be fair, in high school I wasn't the best student. Because high school isn't for everybody. I love college. College was good. I was able to get dean's list multiple times. Do really good in college to have high GPAs. But in high school, no. It just, a lot of the teachers have prejudices, and they force a lot of their ideas on you.
Oh, okay.
In high school you have to just get the information and push out the information and just get a grade. And a lot of teachers don't care if you learn it.
Dang, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So it's I found my passion in high school with ceramics, and then that kind of pushed me to, ceramics helped push me to, just, I guess, stay in school, do the right thing. I mean, it didn't really stop. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, they didn't teach much. And then, they taught from a weird perspective all the time, teaching, Black history from the view of, a white person who's looking at Black people. Come on, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that was a couple questions. I hear you had a couple questions.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of it just going through time. When I was looking up this stuff, it's funny because I was since I'm born here, I'm so disconnected from honestly my history. I grew up with some traditions in the household. So you prayed to your ancestors, or you want to do respectful things. Your elders, you take care of them.
If you don't mind, what religion did you grow up?
There was no religion, no.
Oh, no religion.
Yeah, it's more spiritual. A lot of stuff you see we do is more tradition than religion. we didn't like grow up Buddhist or anything. They didn't have it. My mom leaned towards like a little bit more Buddhist, but no religion growing up. Yeah.
Okay.
So like my background with religion was mostly actually in high school, whatever I interacted with.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Like for example, like going through history of America, like Asian Americas, I was like learning a lot about myself. Like, did you ever felt like disconnected like in America or?
Yeah, all the time. Because they made us disconnected. They made black people be disconnected. Even with the word black. That's why I don't like to use black so much to describe black people in America. Because black is such a... The term today has become a term used to describe the people here in our culture. But it is originally used just for the color of your skin.
Yeah, I get that.
So like when you say black people will include Africans, people will include like the black Brazilians, but we're not all the same people. It's like how you said with Asia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like start to distinguish people. You know
so
what I'm
then
saying?
What would you prefer? Like
I don't know. We got to figure it out. But like black people is such a large word and it's used by mainly the Europeans around the world. So it won't go away until like the people who are in charge of like the government and these large policies stop saying black. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not just black people.
Like community then, will you be like African American? Do you know what
I wouldn't say African American either.
No,
because we're a mixture of a lot of different racial groups from around the world. In America, the black people are made up of any of the people they deem the slave class. You know, so there's a lot of people from Asia, the Aita people that they took in. The Spanish took a lot of the Aita people here. So a lot of the black people here, they have black skin, right? They have like Asian DNA, but we wouldn't say like they're Asian, right? We would say they're black.
Probably, like
to disconnect them from their history.
So then what would be like a better, because I know like today it's like either some people are fine with just black because they understand
they understand
their identity in the US, but then African Americans also feel weird for some people because like I don't really feel connected
because we've never been, a lot of us have never stepped foot in Africa. I've never stepped foot in Africa.
Like for me it feels weird to be like I'm Chinese American, but I don't feel so Chinese other than like I maybe like some stereotypes.
You have Chinese heritage. But you also have a there's like if you go back in your time, y'all come from like a group of people. You could say you're those people because that would be like your clan or tribe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like I guess you wouldn't say Chinese because Chinese is like a nationality.
Exactly.
You know,
which is like majority, but then I don't know exactly the specific provinces. I would have to look up one of those ancestor DNA tests or something.
Be that. Do you have like a did your parents keep like any historical stuff?
No, they came here with nothing. So like all we have is like our like Chinese like names, and that's the only thing we can like search back to. And I'm terrible with. I've heard like 100 times. I never like sat down and just committed to memory truly. But like when I visited China one time, he showed me like, oh, this is our like surname where he came from this lineage of people. And it was kind of cool to see. He was like, oh, that's cool. That's like something. And then I have to research it further. But like it's weird because like I don't sit and think about the past. I'm just thinking about like I'm here and now and like what I do moving forward. Like
But no, I was just wondering because I feel like people need to, like, everybody wants to move forward, but in the world that we're in right now, they want to stop people. You know, so we got to figure out who we are in order to push through that defiance.
And I wonder if it's like coming back to education. So like if I'm going back to history, because I have an interesting, curious like question to ask you, like I grew up like being disconnected. So like as I sit down, you know, I'm looking at history. Like we actually had trades, or not we as in China had trades with Africa back then. So like early 1500s, even maybe 900 BC before. So like they had ships where they maybe just traded spices, silk stuff. So none of the slave stuff has ever really happened like in the history of China.
I think if there was some African slaves, but I think they came from Europeans taking them, and then they moved over that way though.
That was a little bit later, and I
don't think China even did the whole thing they did.
They wouldn't use it because one, I want to say the idea because there's like the Silk Roads where they would see it and then they would run into it. But I think there is, I don't know if it's just because like I hire more or superstition because like
you guys are superstitious. You guys
superstitious.
Know about,
so like if you're dark skinned, it's more like we don't want to mess with whatever heebie-jeebie might be there. That just might bring us bad fortune, which is like a unsad thought. But it's more like we just.
But it kept your history clean from that evil stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, is it a good way? I mean, I guess one is like, at least I agree when we talked about like degree, like they were, oh, these are free workers, and so it's like, even as like, no, we wouldn't cross that line just to use you, just because we would make more money that way.
yeah. There you go. You guys have more morals.
Yeah, maybe
know?
There's
And the spirituality comes into it because there's something else.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe there's nothing else, and they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe there's a spirituality,
like
or
balance. You guys believe in like yin yang, like that came from China.
Yeah,
right. That comes from a certain deep understanding of the universe.
Yeah, and the point of it is like not necessarily always a balance, but also there's like that, a bit of like a
Good,
balance,
evil.
But in a sense of like the symbol has always that little bit of color, and pointing out that you will always have a bit of good or bad. Doesn't matter if you're mostly good or mostly bad. In order to have that balance, you actually need to have that other stuff in you a bit, so that way you can kind of either contrast and learn like, oh, this is bad, so I know what good is, and I know what good is because I know what so much bad is like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's crazy. And so, like, all right, going back to like my basic Google research, not like academic or anything, like the first part of learning of Asian Americans coming to America was mainly the gold rush in the 1500s. Yeah. And that was during the opioids crisis in China a lot. So like opium.
Wait, sorry, what years?
Like the 1500s. So like
1500s?
Yeah,
really.
1587 was when the Chinese opioids crisis was crazy. So like that was when like the British was trading with the Chinese, and they brought in drugs as a great way to like trade and do whatever, and that was very addictive. And I would say that's kind of similar of like the crack epidemic. They brought this in to kind of have a leverage or like influence in a lot of like the Chinese cultures. And so there was a lot of these like opium dens where people just completely like cracked out of their minds on this stuff. And so a lot of people actually fled. In fact, like around that time was small, where like 25,000 Asians just completely left because it was like, very impoverished. Everything was broken. They weren't going to be taken care of. So they saw the opportunity of, oh, there's Gold Mountain in all of this country called Americas. And so they fled.
Wait, when was this? 1500?
1500s, yeah, this all happened in the 1500s, man. Is it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Did you not? Did you think the gold rush was closer, or like?
I thought it was closer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me think. Let's see. Let me think with this. Maybe I read this wrong.
Because 1500.
Oh, sorry, my bad. You're right. I read that. Oh, I read this so badly. Yeah, 1850. That's right. Because the gold rush is American history.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was like reading like the first Asians to cross into America was the Filipino sailors, the Luzonians, in 1587, which also hits California, which makes sense traveling that way. And then gold rush, 1850s, 1848, 1849. Maybe we'll edit this out, but otherwise.
That's cool.
Like, oh, you're right. You're like, I read this too. I'm just running with it.
Yeah. No, I didn't know about gold rush. I just knew it was. Yeah. I knew it was in America. That's all I know. So I was like, I know it's after 16.
No, you're right, because then you said, wait, 500 years? Wait, no, but America's only 250. We just celebrate 250, and we know that gold rush only happened in American history. I'm like, there's something wrong with that. Yeah, but thanks for calling that out.
Yeah.
And then and then after the gold rush, 1860s was the Transcontinental Railroad. And that's where I learned like a lot of Asians.
That was that crazy time for them.
A lot of Chinese being used.
Because the thing is about when they did that, they were just coming off of slavery, so they were treating you the same, a little better, because they knew you weren't slaves. But like,
we were
like really
came across differently.
They about treated you the same. They just had to pay you more. Because they were just like letting you die and all that, and it was just like, but that's what they did to black people.
Or at least they were using us because they were
cheaper,
like, cheaper, so willing to work, so like they were to like undercut a lot of the labor just by like, that's the same with I think the Irish back then too. The Irish and Chinese was huge back then, and that's where like the invention of like some other Asian dishes that I won't really go into about. And then later on, like this history, like, so I'm like thinking as I go through like the history, because then I was learning of like these Chinatowns that were coming up, and then Chinese Exclusion Act I've heard of, like, you don't want Chinese being let into the country anymore, and you don't take Chinese as a witness. There was like a court case about that with murder, and then
you know the thing about that is that's the exact same rules they put on black people.
Yeah. And then I'm hearing that they actually were talking about us the same way, in the sense of that we were an inferior race that could not evolve or learn or anything like that. I'm like, okay,
like what?
Yeah, which is like I read about this in school, but like it never developed like a hate in me.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering, because as I go through history, like I'm like reading about like also all these Chinatowns. Like you could see like a map of like all on the east and west coasts.
Mm-hmm.
There were like over like I want to say, let's see, like I want to see the number of China. Yeah, there was like several Chinatowns that were like burned down. And taken care of.
Probably because they were too successful.
Yeah, or they were
that's the
just
only
too
time
close.
they do that. Because when a town is getting successful, like Black Wall Street, they get mad.
I would say in this case they were still. I mean, they weren't necessarily thriving, but they were like setting roots. And I would say like they're just more of like they were still there on the edge, and they were still very impoverished. But at the very least, they were kind of left alone. I would say.
Oh, okay.
They didn't see like they were making much and coming in. They were more like, we see them, they're too close to us. Let's get rid of them out and push them out further and burn these places down.
That's so crazy.
And then what's crazy is like, I'm like thinking, shit, like, because I talked to like other like like cultures, like they have like a hate from the history.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is it because I was ignorant or naive and I didn't like really let it latch on? Because like I read about it briefly, but I never thought of, wow, I should hate every single person.
No, you shouldn't hate. You shouldn't hate, because it is the past and people have grown.
Right.
But you should know that it happened.
Yeah.
And you should know that you might not have the hate, but some people do.
Yeah.
And it's not, you don't have to hate because of that, but you just have to know that it's there. That's all I'm saying. It's like, you can't say, that rock is there, but no, it's not, because it's not in me. You know what I'm saying? It's over there. It is over there, and I'm going to walk around it if I see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in which like I learned like the way the system tries to take advantage, because like the most common one growing up was like the model minority.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing even today. It's really bad right now. There's a lot of people who are minorities, like foreigners from other countries, first generation. I'm not saying nothing, but there's a minority in the country. Like first gen is not a large community in America, and they get a lot of those people to advocate for like ICE and stuff, and 14th Amendment and stuff like that. Myron Gaines, first generation, and he's just advocating for all this hate.
Yeah, like is he just like he just signed up and decided to just?
I don't know. I guess he worked in the government or something.
Okay, where do you think they're getting this hate from, or how they're developing this like hate?
It could be. Well, it could be. I don't know. I think he's crazy because he's African, so he doesn't like black people. Yeah, he's from Sudan.
Like over time, like during his history, like I learned a bit of Chinese, worked around America, and then learning like the history of like all these Chinatowns that were burned down. Like for example, like Tacoma, Washington, they actually developed the Tacoma method to how to raise and burn down like Chinatowns and cities. So other places learned this method. So I'm not sure if this Tacoma method, if you've heard, was used also in either black towns or not.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, because a lot of like the Washington area developed a lot of like the early racial purging or
everywhere,
like that.
Everywhere did, yeah.
Same thing with like Denver, Colorado, like San Jose, California.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, these are crazy.
These are crazy, and people need to know it. And I feel like people coming into the country need to know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not think it's your history, but it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could be someone in your family. Someone, I don't know if you know the people that might have left from your family, but they could have came here and been a victim of one of those. Not necessarily you, but somebody else.
Yeah, no, for sure somebody else.
Yeah.
Like my family, everyone I know, is here in the East Coast, is in Virginia. Any family I knew are actually they just stayed in China, and I learned years later how to reconnect. Yeah.
But some of those people that died in all those tragedies are some of these people that are here now. Yeah. And I feel like they need to know it because that is their history. Yeah,
and then coming back to like the model minority and then the Chinatowns, I was like seeing like they were using that as a twist. Like the model minority never came from anything that we said. That was something that like
they made it up.
The U.S. they propaganda, put it on the news, like the model minority, the Chinese and Asians. They don't say anything, they don't cause fuss, they just work and whatever. That's a weird thing to take. That's of a trait, because like I see that you all have the trait, of just working hard. You want to keep your head low. You are super educated. We just did the same thing, and they're trying to pin us against each other.
Yeah. Literally just to pin us against each other, just to make a fake model of something that's, you know, not really who you are from like where you come from, just to put you against like black people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not you. Well, not even just black people. Just anybody who's not white.
Yeah. Or at least successful or doing whatever.
Or successful
or anything. Yeah. It's just
anything.
Like crazy. Just to like repress us. And then like this is where part was like asking, where I saw later in history there were a lot of these cities properly like apologized for, and I give it for like in the sense of, you know, maybe they had like a thank you statement, nothing like a reparations or anything like that. There's more like we acknowledge we did this bad stuff and we're sorry for it. And I was looking at the examples like you know, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all these famous communities for now you got me thinking about, like, should I say black or Asian Africans?
Oh no, you can say black. You can still say black.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I get that.
I feel like in the future is going to come a time where we're going to have to figure out another word for us. Like, you know, in Ethiopia they call themselves Habeshas.
Habesha.
They don't call themselves like Ethiopian. I mean, they're from Ethiopia, yeah, but they're Habesha.
Where's like Habesha come from? Like, where did they pick that name? No
I have
idea.
to learn about it a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, what name would you come up with then if you were to like name, like, just for yourself, like, oh, how would you want to be called or identified as?
I don't know, because I don't want to be called American, because American is a European thing. You know what I'm saying? Amerigo Vespucci, that's where the name comes from, and that's like a European thing. So to call myself an American, you know,
doesn't feel right. Okay.
Doesn't feel right. And black is so, like, anybody with dark skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. I think I have to just think about it.
That's a good question. Let me know what you come back to, because that's another layer of thought. Like, I don't really dive into, because I mean, I don't also like go like, hey, I'm the yellow people. And,
yeah. You see what I'm saying?
But like, I feel a little closer, like, in the sense of the concept of like, I'm American because I'm. Yeah,
you're part of America. You are American. Like, we are all American.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, truly, like, my ethnic background and like my like tribe of people that we call these Black Americans, we don't have like a name besides like black, and I don't like that. You know, like, we are American. Yeah, we are from America. Our nationality is American. But like, our race is not black. Black is a color. Yeah, our race is this amalgamation of all these different colors, not colors, people that they brought to the slave classes of America. So we have to find a new word for ourselves, because it's like we have all these names from all these different groups that we don't even know of, but we could get like a certain sense of. You know, we can look to West Africa, North Africa, Asia, any of the black people they took here, and we can get all the names, but that wouldn't tell us who we are.
Yeah, because I'm curious, because like, if you were to do like those ancestry tests and like learn that you were like Nigerian, Cameroon, or Ghanaian, or any of like the African tribes, would you start to call yourself that, or would you still feel like you're so disconnected?
Because I've never been there. But by the time I do that, it'll be like, what, 20-something years?
You think it'll be that long for you to actually just go and...
It's been 25 years already.
Yeah, but
since I've set in Africa, and I've never set foot in. I wouldn't want to call myself... Like, Nigerians have their own groups. They have Yoruba and the Igbo. They can call themselves that, but like, I'm not from those tribes. I wasn't born in those tribes.
Yeah, but would you not want to like reconnect? Because I feel, at least...
That's not my only history, though.
That's not...
That's the thing.
Okay.
That's all black people. That's not our only place we're from.
Right. And I know, like, with the whole slave trades, they had also were mixing with, well, forcefully mixed too, with like the colonies natives, and plantations and natives.
So it's like, we're just...
So would you choose to, like, I mean, you have a choice though. Like, even though that's not your history, you're still new. But would you
I'd rather make a new path for us.
New path for us? Okay.
Yeah. Like, we're not the same as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And and the truth is, a lot of other people wouldn't accept us. Like the natives know that other natives in the past were taken into slavery. They know this, and yet they don't want to say we are part of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Africans, they know, and they accept us as part of them, but like, we are different people though.
You know, I wonder that's like different, because as like closest would be like Chinese American, and if I were to reconnect, it's easier.
But
in
you're
the sense
directly
of,
Chinese.
yeah, directly Chinese.
We're not directly African.
I mean,
we're a mixture. Like I said, we're a mixture of all these different.
Well, how do you
people.
know what your percentage is? Like, I don't even know how percentage of like Chinese or American or even the province, because.
But your parents can tell you they were from China.
Yeah, I would say
my
that's
parents
true.
can't
They
tell
couldn't
me we're
you.
from Africa.
Yeah, you would just
because when I go through my history, my family goes back to the Native Americans, and then we have other black people mixed in. So it's like we can't say.
So you're specifically have a lot of other mixes. That's even further.
Yeah. All black people.
Yeah.
All black people. Yeah, we're not just African. Like black. That's the thing about black. People construed black with African, when black means anybody with dark skin. And the truth is, a lot of British before even the settlement of America, they took the Indians that they were keeping as slaves in India to America. And because they were black or dark skinned, they just didn't care what happened to them. So some black people have some Asian Indian blood in them. Dang. So we can't say they're African.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like, it's funny how now we have like the Native Americans, and do you ever
I don't like that
with them? No.
What, with the natives?
Yeah. Like,
no.
I'm just thinking about this is like right. Thinking about I never. Like in American history, they really grouped you with like the Native Americans with blacks, or group them together as one whole thing.
Well, they don't want to, but the thing is, everything that happened to us happened to them.
Yeah, but it seems like they're more willing to acknowledge the Native Americans more than blacks. Still. Yeah. Like so, why is it that?
Because we're
that's
black.
But why is it like the lowest totem pole? Like as far as I can see.
Because that's America.
Yeah.
When they came here and they made that black people be lesser, who wants to do that? Would you go down there?
No. Right.
So it was easy to just be like, oh, they're not us anymore.
Right. So
even though we are.
So do you feel? Because the question is more of like the Native Americans. Do they even think of like? Do you actually interact?
Some do, some don't. This is just the stuff you see online. I don't know any Native Americans.
Got it.
And then they killed most of them. A lot of the Native Americans on reservations is scattered out through
the United States.
They're all
isolated reserves. So
like we can go there and we can talk, but I haven't had the time to go yet.
I'm
sure if I went, I'm sure I'd learn a lot from them and see how they actually feel about black people and the fact that they were enslaved by the Europeans when they got here. But recently I haven't heard anything about Native Americans being like, oh yeah, acknowledging the fact that a lot were taken into slavery.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, that's great. And so then you want to forge a new tribe or ethnicity for yourself and everyone else
in America.
Yeah, at least in America.
Yeah, because the black people in Brazil, right? Like they're black, and I would bring them into my group as black people, but like they are different people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's mainly the blacks in America who are so cut off in such a crazy way that's just that's not cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because even in like Brazil, like people would call the black people in Brazil Brazilians, right?
Really? Okay. So they still get to be Brazilians.
They get to be Brazilians.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like we don't really get to be Americans or black Americans.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder, and then you gotta travel to Brazil and see what they really say.
Yeah.
Is that what the news or?
Well, they know they're black.
Right.
They know they're black.
But do they feel the same of where they feel equal as Brazilians versus? Like,
no, there's still racism there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you should watch that movie. City of God.
I've seen that movie. Yeah. No, that's a crazy good movie, but crazy movie all the same. Yeah.
Yeah. They know they're black.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know they're black. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good movie. That's a watch when I first watched that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That kid growing up to be the kingpin of all that, and it's crazy. But he went through a tough life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think growing up, like the culture, like I mean, as both just American kids growing off, bringing everyone together. Like, what makes you like? Because you didn't talk to many, like Chinese growing up.
I talked to some.
Yeah, some.
Mostly when I've noticed when they got older, they were more so like willing to talk. Yeah. I feel like the ones I met when they were younger were just listening to their parents too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, yes.
But in college, they were really talkative.
Yeah. When you're not with your parents, you could be free.
I so it's like the racism from the Asian community towards black people seems forged, is what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like they don't truly know. Like the fact that when you're younger and around your parents, you don't really talk. But then when you're free, you do want to talk.
Yeah.
It means like you don't really get what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because like growing up, part of it was like I did listen to like a bit of rap and stuff, but it was like Eminem, and then I got like real deeper in terms of like learning like Nas and Tupac and like the much more underground of like New York City and Chicago. I can't remember this old like radio station where they like recorded like all of these rappers before they got big. It was just underground.
Oh yeah, No Jumper.
I think Jumper.
No
that's
Jumper,
that's the one. Yeah, I was like, oh, I was just listening to it. It was just
No Jumper's dope.
a different vibe.
You know, he still makes stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I did. I looked up like, is he still recording? I was like, no, he still gets big names coming up. He's still a respectable radio. Love that.
Yeah.
But like, and then so Asian, like they learn like to stay away. But it kind of felt a little bit nuanced in the sense of like it started feeling more of there would be more of a distraction or like maybe drag you down, which still has that prejudice and racism built in. And then like later on, I just kind of find like today I kind of relate more to like our culture, more in the sense of we kind of vibe the same. Like we grew up with like strict parents. We want to do good. Respect your elders was a big one. That like, okay, you guys had the same stuff. And then honestly, like the anime, like even though I'm Chinese and that's a Japanese thing, but like
it's all
that one blew up of like, whoa, we just had the same like energy in a sense, but it was also like this coolness that like everyone was about anime for me. That's more of like a dorkier connection of a culture. Like, did you had that, or was it like something else that connected you with other people?
Just anything, because I play table tennis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's actually interesting. Yeah, because you're black playing like a very Chinese-ish.
In America, huge. It's all just about all Asian people.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they're cool, and the thing about table tennis, there's no real racism in table tennis. There's some, because just people are crazy, but not much. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it's the coolest because the thing is we're all different, So we all understood that about each other. So we all just kind of met and talked, and it's the coolest place in table tennis. There's like barely any racism there. There is some. I'm not saying it's gone, but it's cool in table tennis.
That's interesting. Have you ever observed like when you played at? You play a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you observed like playing tournaments against like your opponent and then seeing their parents react to maybe losing to you just because? Because I wonder, like, because, like,
it's
there's,
weird.
like losing to another Asian, like, oh, then I just got to be better. But then losing to, like,
Well, it was dependent on, because my coach, he was a, Olympian coach.
Okay.
2 times Olympian. Everybody knew him.
Okay.
So it's like, they knew I was good. And they could see I was good. Everybody on my team was good. And we're all black. So they were like, when they lost, they were like, good. They were like, you played good to the other team. That's what I mean by that. It was like no racism.
Okay.
Like, they were like, it was like, it's more of like how their heart was when they played. And they didn't care about the color of your skin.
Yeah.
They were just like, did you play good? You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's good to know. Because I wonder, like, if you didn't have that, you were being trained by an Olympian and someone that they respected. But if you just came up as a nobody, but you were learning and you were studying
still respect it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't fake being a good table tennis player.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're good, it's respectable.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of respect in table tennis.
Hopefully, I'm glad that your experience has been respectful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, what's, like, because, like, Asian was, like, kind of cool. That's kind of where I thought, like, after I started talking about, like, anime, I met, like, other people. And it just keeps coming up that I don't know what about my school, but, like, the people I saw who really liked anime, like, there was, like, the ones that I really thought, like, they were, like, so hype were, like, black people.
Black people, yeah, we get hyped about it.
I don't know what makes you guys, like, truly, like let your soul and emotion just fly out.
Yeah.
Because, like, as growing up, like, you had to be reserved and poised, because there's the term of saving face. Like, we do not ever act out of character or go beyond. We are always showing to be reserved, in control, and very disciplined.
Yeah.
And then, like, watching you guys just like, having fun, just going full out.
Yeah. Well, it's historical. We have a strong culture because you have to be strong going through all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then civil rights, you can't, like, during civil rights, people were dying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be strong, and, like, that just goes into who we are today. You know what I'm saying? People call us aggressive and violent and all that, but like, we see all the problems going on in America now. Yeah. And people wish they were more like us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just how we are from American history.
Having to thrive,
having to fight the government, having to fight the police because they just racist.
Finding happiness amongst all that nonsense that you deal with. That is something else, because I don't know if we ever. That's something that's like Chinese and growing up like with my parents. Like happiness and joy is not something like you share or do. Even though
Really?
yeah, it's like very not as much. I mean, you
More of like a personal thing?
Get excited. It might be personal. Might be. I feel a little bit more of a culture like over time. Like even when you decide, they're like, oh, they're like they're like hold back a little bit. And you know that they want to just burst, but like they gotta cover their face. I can't go too crazy. It's kind of like informal or whatever reason. And then like over time, I learned like screw all that. I just want to be out. Yeah, and I'm thinking, is it because like we didn't like suffer, or is it just because like
you
we
did
have a
suffer
weird
though?
culture? I mean,
you do have a history of
in America,
a lot of, in America, but I'm talking about also in China. You have a long history of people going through all types of crazy things.
Yeah. You learn about the Three Kingdoms, which makes some great anime content. But like China was made of like over thousands of different states in a sense, and then over time they fought war over war. Yeah, they have some of the longest history of war in many places because they fought for thousands of years constantly. Yeah. So there was like 7 big nations towards the end, and then that's what led to like the final unification of the 3 kingdoms to one China of all. And I think that's where I learned from like the history lessons of China, where when they unified China, and this is like a super simplification, the emperor then said that I am not the final law. I am not God or divine intervention or the celestial heavens granted me, but in fact there is law that is higher than me. That even as the emperor, I will have to abide by this that's more than me. And that's where I think I got that the fundamentals of. Yeah. I looked at people for their behavior and what they kind of like, what leads them, like what are their principles, and are they principle driven, or are they like like you said, like they're just hateful or skin color, hateful or because of the color.
And the thing is, it's funny how in China it was like that, and they tried to do that here, but they still put the color above that.
And also because like I mean, to be fair, we know this, like the rich, and unfortunately majority of the rich is just white people. Like twisting the rules, because like that happened in China over time. That's why we have like the communists now, and it's been twisted.
But I feel like y'all still, it wasn't twisting for like an individual though. Y'all didn't twist to benefit one particular person, did you?
Yeah, no, there's definitely for sure. Like in the history of the communism, there was a divide of now, because in China, we don't have like the racial. It's more of a divide of the classes. So like you have a lot of them, like kind of poor farmers and people who just think differently and want to express independence or want to get above where they are in life. But like a lot of the communists like kind of shut that down, like because they want to stay in power. They wanted to control what you see, do, eat, watch, everything, kind of like North Korea was. But over time, you've seen a lot of like the back and forth like rebellions in China, and then the fighting for it, and over time, like the communists learned, like if they wanted to have sway or influence, which they still have a crazy amount, but the most recent party has learned how to like, hey, I got to make them happy too. And I still think they do have like maybe some of it comes from the belief like I know best for you all, and part of it, there were people who just did it for power. You can see that, and then there were some where if there's only one person, it's easier to just manage everything and make sure everyone's fair. That's where I say the most recent communists, because like they're not really called actually communists today. They're just like social. They use that
just
term.
Propaganda I hear?
Yeah. That's why it's more like CCP, like the Chinese Republic or something like that more. Okay. Where there's like, they're just for one people. So like, they take care, like morally they try to shape everything. Like everything is respectful. We punish the bad. You have access. If you do good in society, you get more benefits. There's actually a social ranking system in China.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So the more you do good, as in like following the laws and following stuff, the more benefits you get in their digital system of like, I can travel more, maybe access different things, more financial gains, and allows you to move up society. The more you do bad, as in like you break laws and stuff, you lose benefits, like traveling to other parts of China or using trains or whatever, for example, roughly, or like using internet. Like everything is tied to that one system.
Which really using internet?
Yeah.
It's all digital.
Yeah, everything is like digitally powered. And so like there's a mix of like, they've helped a lot, but at the same time, where's the like trade off a little bit? Yeah. Like they're still super in control. That's why, like, even in billionaires, they have to be mindful and work with the government at all times, because they can just, we'll just yank it and take it away from you.
I think that's okay.
Oh, really? Like, you want
like okay and bad, like, because, like, as we see in America, we have a problem with like people with a lot of money thinking they can just throw money at anything.
I mean, do you think could you actually be a billionaire doing good, or is it just because of our system?
You can be a billionaire doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that I truly feel that did good to become a billionaire.
There's probably none that has done good, but you can do good.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you examples, but I do believe you could do good. Okay, so my next question. I think we got to it a little bit. But what does your community say about the history of racism in America? Do they believe it's real? Like, because I know there's a lot of people who don't believe the racism in America is real.
I want to say that they want. I think they might be aware that it's real, but that they don't want to acknowledge it. I think they're kind of like, no, it's not like racism. It's just they did this to themselves.
Wow.
But and then the part of it is more of like, again, like, just they'd rather just put their head low and not even go into that topic.
Yeah.
So it'd be more of, I say like, I want to believe deep down they believe it's real, because, like, you can't just keep saying these people are always so bad all the time. And we've like worked and talked so much time, and we know this history. But if you bring up the history, it's like, that's just not worth it. It's like, it's focused about what you're doing now. But there is some truth that you do need to know.
History does matter.
Yeah.
Because
so
if history doesn't matter, you can't bring up any history of the past.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
And you can't learn from your past to avoid it. And that's where I feel like, they're so head driven, like down driven, just like, just keep to yourself, work, just live, have a family, have a good life. And that's it.
More just trying to stay cool.
Yeah, and then just like
stay under the radar.
Do good and do okay for like society and your family. I mean, mostly I think it's so family driven, so like you don't look past outside of your family. It's just more of like, that's what they're gonna do, but right now just focus on taking care of your family, your lineage, that's it.
Do they believe the history of America affects them?
I think for sure. I think I see that more in our, like, the first generation of like Asian Americans.
I see.
Who grew up.
Yeah.
I think like the older ones, they don't acknowledge.
They don't think
just
so.
they're just they learned out how to survive. Just make money. The next generation was like, we're getting educated.
Yeah.
And we're learning how this came to be and the system. So I think like it's
seems
more
like education is key.
Yeah, more of like the first generation was like, this is stuff, and I see a lot of my cousins like, we come to similar mind, like, we don't like some of the old stuff they say, we call it out, and then we understand like we are part of something bigger, that we have to go beyond just family, like we gotta actually do more for community.
Because in America, everybody who is not a part of the foundations of America is affected. And to pit people against each other is like, for us to fall for it is going to be our downfall. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all up to us on whether or not we actually want to be hateful to each other when we know we're not each other's enemies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which I'm curious about this foundation of America. You've been like hinting a bit. So.
I'll go. That'll be in a second.
All right.
So what is black to your community? What is black?
I don't know what this black. I mean, to us,
like what is like
African Americans? Just that's about it. Like African Americans.
Like would Brazilians be black people?
No, we were just thinking of like, I guess more generally like Spanish or whatever.
That's wild. Because they are black people.
Probably, but I don't know how much interaction of, like, from personally just myself. Like I don't know how much like they've interacted, or even I've interacted with like Brazilians down there. I was just like, they're Brazilians, but I don't know. I'll have to like meet more of them, to be honest. Yeah.
Do they have the same thinking of black as Americans do? Black to an American is a dark-skinned person. Oh,
in general, I would say. But when you say dark skin, because then like you think of Indian, we don't.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't group that, no. Yeah, no.
Because they are black. They just have straight hair.
Think of like black as just the African American.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, why is that a surprise? Like
because these people are black, like the Aboriginal people of Australia. They are black.
Yeah, but that's something.
They are black.
I'm not saying like they're black. It's just something like my parents or anyone. I don't think any other
Because if
community
you ask,
in America, we like, oh, we've seen that black. Oh, no, we just think like, oh, okay, maybe Aboriginal. They might like look at them like, oh, they look black too, yeah. And then Brazilian, I guess if they don't talk at all, and they're super dark skin, yeah, I think they would be black. But if I look at an Indian person, I guess
because you know they're from Asia.
We know they're from India and we interact with them.
But
to be fair, I've never interacted with Aboriginal. I've only seen images and watched videos, so like I know that like that's their background. But
now my thing is, it's only because you know Indians are Asian is because you say they're not black.
Yeah.
Because like the Aita, I brought them up before. They're Asian.
Because the way I would say black generally for everything, it would be like they're from Africa. That's what to us is black is. Yeah.
No. Yeah, in America, black means dark skin. Then they make distinctions among people, but black means dark because black was used as a term for slaves to say, oh, black people are slaves. So if you see a black person, they're a slave.
Yeah, and then
it just made it easy.
Yeah, but I mean, historical context, like that's not gonna get to the Asian community. We like, because like we like, we just think of all of y'all just like you're from Africa, so you're just really. Black is just
so
Africa.
What about the Aita people? And then like
let me look
the
at the
Aita.
Yeah, well, Aboriginal, I would look at them and they're black, but I would think like they kind of look like from Africa. So that's.
Would you say they're African?
Well, I mean, knowing them, no, they're Australians because I know where Aboriginals come from. But if you were to just put an image, I would say like my parents would think they're black. They're from Africa. That's because that's what they're saying. It's education, right? Like Aboriginal is not a common thing you see like in America. So it's
I think people just need to learn. I feel like people just need to go and learn these things. That's why I don't believe a lot of people understand this racism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Aboriginals are black people. Yeah, the Aita people are black.
Yeah, because I think it still comes to like that education of
because Asians would call them black.
Yeah, I would,
and that's crazy.
I can see the Filipino bit in them in the eyes.
Because the Filipinos, the light skinned ones, are light skinned because the Spanish came. They're not naturally like that. They're black.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, looking at this like blindly, like if I know nothing, I'm not trying to assume. Like if I were to guess based on like my knowledge now, that would actually be. It'd be like a weird mix. It's like I can see like, oh, it's African, but I also see like Asian. This is where me educate be like, there gotta be somewhere in between. Yeah. It's like I'll be immediately they're Blasian, right? Yeah. That's my first thought.
But this is the thing. Black isn't a race.
Yeah.
Black is a skin color.
Yes, it's a skin color.
That's why I don't like using the word black. Because we're not a race.
No.
Because Aita are Asian. That's the race.
Yeah. So then, what would you say for? Because we keep using white. Then what would be actually better? Are we just sticking to white because they want to be the white?
Yeah, I didn't make that term up.
Yeah.
That's what they made up.
Yeah. Well, if we were to actually like sit back and like break it down, what is the majority of like the white in America? Because
they're European.
Yeah, European white.
That's the race. European is a race.
Yeah. Well, is European the race for the nation? Because
European is like a continent.
You'll be going down to like. The ethnicity would be like Scot, Welsh,
ethnicity
Irish.
Would be that. Yeah. Well, that would be nationality. The ethnicity would be the other name they call themselves that live in that country. Like the Habeshas, they're Ethiopian. Mm-hmm. Ethiopian is nationality, but their ethnicity is Habesha.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like you're Chinese, but that's the nationality. Your ethnicity is something else.
Yeah, it's part of either like a Guangdong or something province. But then it's not like we don't actually. I want to say I have to think of it differently because then I don't think of it like. If I were to compare it to like other places, I wouldn't think of it like as a specific. I don't know. I have to actually like.
Yeah, people just gotta deconstruct.
But China has gone to the point where everyone's China, but then you would understand for like a different dialect. Like until you speak, you wouldn't know at all if they're from a different province or not.
Yeah. I just feel like in America, people need to deconstruct racism because black is a skin color.
Yes, we all know
it is not
this,
a race.
It's not.
Like black Americans and Africans are black, so are the Aita. They're black. Indians are black, but their ethnicity is Indian. Their race is Indian.
Yeah,
but they are black with straight hair. The Ethiopians just have curly hair.
How Indians feel about being called black because they probably wouldn't want to think themselves.
They might not like it, but we don't like it either.
No, that's they
fair. Have to accept it.
That's why I would say I move closer. Like you'd be more African American because at least that is some blood or majority of your blood should be from there. But
no.
At least
not in my bloodline.
I don't know about your bloodline. Yeah.
Yeah, most.
Have you actually looked it up then? Like, what's the percentage?
Look at my family history.
Oh, just your family history. Oh, because with answers it tells you like the percentage. So I'm just curious if you. So
I just look at the people in my family.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, like I look at the people. I look at the bloodline.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I don't believe too many of those DNA stuff because it doesn't correlate with history. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the slave codes of Virginia, it tells you all the slave class.
Sure.
And all the slave class is not from West Africa.
So what? But I'm saying like it's able to at least I do.
That might be
in
part
science.
of it. That might be part of her. Yes.
Well, I do believe in science that majority is like I think with science that we can figure out majority.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Oh.
Yeah. Because like computers, when they do this stuff, they're doing comparisons.
Yeah. Well, if you go through
comparison
computers,
is of the people that are there right now.
But with DNA, it's just simply measuring DNA and tracking back and forth like
and
the
and
compositions.
then this goes to like that technology was made in the past like 100 years. It's not like 500 years old.
Well, no, DNA like science and
no, I'm talking about the technology.
Oh, to like actually examine it. I mean, yeah, it's probably the most recent in the last
so,
like 20 years.
My thing is, it can't truly see back to when they were doing these horrendous acts and moving people and people from places because they did all sorts of things that we still don't even know. Just to change the future so that it fits their story.
So you think overall, even because
I just feel like there's lies we have to deconstruct in history.
So which one do you value more, just purely the history, or do you not actually
history
like the science?
History is real.
Science is also real.
Yeah, science is. I'm not saying that's not real, but history is real.
Yeah, they're both real.
Two things can be true at one time.
Yeah, two things can exist, but I think there's a different weight at times. Like I could believe that there's a different weight of science more than history, and sometimes history is more than science. Yeah, but in terms of like the community be matching up, it's just like more of just lazy because education is not there, so it's just black is African. That's it. We wouldn't say Indian, and we're not thinking like how you're
not thinking skin color
because
so that's an adopted ideology, kind of like this black thing, because black is not like if Indians weren't black. Yeah, you brought that idea into yourself.
Yeah, that's just because of the level of education speaking
to the Europeans.
In America,
yeah, that's wild. I did not know that. So that's not an inherent idea in China. Black. Because if it was, Indians would be black.
So I would say everything else would be. It'd just be skin, like light skin or dark skin.
Oh, see, that's how it should be.
It'd be a spectrum.
That's how it should be.
But since we're in America, I mean, it's just more, I guess, the lazy language of like,
just grouping people together because that's how the history was.
Yeah, and we just tied just black to African Americans, and then we just call Indians Indians, and then Native Americans, because I guess that's more of how we're like really taught. And like even in history, I know that they use black to cover a lot. But the term I would hear more is actually like the colored people. Then I think colored people. Now I'm thinking of Indians, Native Americans, myself included. But every time in history, every time they were strongly referring black was more very much like the African American stuff. Is what I've like learned more of. So that's like that's what we've absorbed as the first.
That's what you
generation.
Think of.
But now that growing older and actually seeking out the knowledge and education history, like I know more of the differences. But I never actually learned that like your version of like black is actually includes Indian. Like no, we didn't think of that. No.
Well, I say black people are Indian because they're black. Like they get darker than me. Yeah, and I'm only black because of my skin color.
Okay, yeah.
I'm only black because of my skin color.
Yeah. Compare like the darker than you, but that's like a whole different like thought process. Like you took the darkest Indian and the darkest like African.
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh, you just use specific.
Like me, they're darker than me. Okay, so with my next question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Rick Child situation when it comes to all of the other racial problems we've seen in America?
Child.
Oh, do you know about him?
No.
Oh, we'll skip past him.
No. Tell me about Rick Child. What's this Rick Child
I think it was
situation?
in South Carolina. This Asian guy. I think he was Chinese.
Yeah.
He shot this 14-year-old that he thought stole from his store 4 water bottles.
Oh.
No, not 4.
Was that
a couple
recent?
Water bottles. Yeah.
Dang.
A couple months ago was the trial and everything. And he was running down the street. The boy was running down the street, and he chased him 48 yards, and shot him in the back. Yeah. And killed him.
That's a long.
Yeah.
See,
then they let him off, and then after that, a lot of people messaged the kid's mother saying, "Oh, I'm happy he dead. This and that."
really adopted whatever the community is down there. But also chasing a kid for what? Just for water, and he had the gun.
He didn't even have the water. The kid didn't even take any water.
No, I'm talking about the guy. He ran with a gun the entire time. That's a level of like that feels like a real hate crime. Then at that point, like, why are you chasing a kid? Why did you need a gun?
Yeah, and then he had other instances before that where he got into altercations with people. Yeah. No. How do you feel about that when it comes to right now in America? Everybody wants like black people to help with the like social injustice we see now with ICE and everything.
Oh,
how do you think that is looked at in America by black people?
History shows, like, even looking back, like, yeah, a lot of it has happened, but that was not enough of a turning point to see, like, oh, a lot of African Americans dying was the turning point. No, it required other, like, white people or anyone else dying to start saying, oh, we gotta change things, and that's like a really bad way. Really bad, yeah. Yeah, that's where, like, which I get, like, the sentiment. You have years and years of this fighting injustices every day. You guys deal with it all the time. And saying that, oh, we got to pick up the mantle. It's like, you've been doing it long. Pass the mantle to someone else to do like, take up the front lines, take up the damages, things like that. So that's where I'm, like, learning more and more and shifting my perspective. Like, for example, this Rick Chow thing, the only that comes to mind is, like, as community, you want to have advantages. So as an Asian mindset-ish, you would do what it takes to get favor. So you would probably lean towards people of power, people who have influence. So this Rick Chow probably hung out maybe with people in, like, the wider communities and learn their things, because if you're closer to them, you're less likely to get hurt or be targeted. And it's
do you believe this? Do you believe that's real?
It's a real strategy. Well, I don't think it's.
Do you think it has worked?
Yeah, I'd say I'm not saying you will ever be 0%. But I think over time, the more you get closer and you kowtow to them and you, like, say, and it's a legit, like, tactic in, like, Asian, even amongst other Asians.
No,
like,
I know it works in other places.
Yeah.
But I don't think it worked here in America.
I think it worked in the sense of
individualistic.
I live longer. Yeah. I live longer than you, so therefore it works. That's how it works in
an individualistic way. Yeah. But I don't think it works as a community-wide sort of way. Like if
no, for sure. Long term, that's not going to work. But then again, that's where I see maybe a difference in culture. Like, it's so individualistic here that
I see
all those bad individualism suddenly becomes a community versus like, and mostly like Eastern side of the world, I see like they are immediately thinking about the bigger picture. I'm not thinking about me, what's best for the community.
That's what it is.
And some here, like, they think they mix community and their identity with, like, what's best for the community. No, it's what's best for the community of white people or whatever identity or whatever makes me survive and live longer another day or two.
Yeah. I think you just described it. Because, like, I'm sure he was racist and whatnot, but I feel like he was trying to curtail to, like, the people in charge.
Yeah,
like, he just thought that would help him in his case, but from my look at it, like, that makes black people mad in America. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And people want us to go out and help, but then that happens.
Yeah.
It makes it harder. And I'm not saying it's impossible for us to go out and help. I don't know if it'll happen, but I feel like we just need to see more activism from, like, the Chinese or Asian community. I don't know which one. I don't know how to put it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say that, any activism from any other community besides, like, African Americans, they need to be out there more than ever before. And
no, I'm talking about, like, to get black people out there.
Oh, you want them also out there?
We need, like, people need to say that was bad. I feel like we have seen that was bad.
Well.
Like, I know people have said it was bad, but that was, like, through the internet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like black people will go out and say something with a big megaphone.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't see that from, like, many other groups.
Well, I think the difference is, like, with the internet there, like, I don't know how big the community is where Rick Chow is, and maybe they, as a community, they just felt like if we set it out, we are going to start a big, this is us versus them. And it's easier to, it's easier to, like, as the internet, I can speak out because I'm not there, my home won't be destroyed. But if they're there, like, if we set out, they would take away my homes. I would actually be impacted because your nonsense internet butt wants to say injustice versus, like, I'm just trying to survive another day. And that's where America is hard. Yeah, I believe like the protesting where like, hey, we need to move people enough that we do protest. We have to protect them.
You got to protect people.
Which is like some
that
of the
goes
concepts.
Back to a mindset thing.
Yeah, which also kind of goes back to like I need to like study more activism, but like the Black Panthers, what I always recall.
Oh yeah, the history here.
Because not only did they speak out, but they made sure that we didn't just say stuff injustice. they kept their butts there with guns and protect the home, so that way even if they said it, they weren't going to leave them behind and then let them deal with the consequences of their actions. They said no, we said it, we stand by it, and we're going to be here to protect it. Versus like if I were to protest and like, yeah, this is injustice, and I leave the city and I'm back home, they're left with my reckoning of like I said this, but now you're not here to protect me, and no one's thinking about like actually putting yourself online or doing that.
Yeah, sad. Yeah, I just feel like I believe eventually if things get so bad, Black people will go out and help, but it will be longer if people don't realize like we're not against anybody.
Yeah,
I feel like people think we're against people all the time. We're not against nobody.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got some hope today. Like I said, there's more people speaking. It's just in today's time.
We need more activism. The internet is, to me personally, the internet is the bare minimum you can do. Yeah,
the internet should be the communication. But I think at the same time right now, we're under an influence of media repression where you probably aren't hearing that. Like I said, there was a time where the No Kings, it still happens. It still goes on monthly. It still happens in all 50 states, and it still happens at different towns. And that's what I would encourage. Like, look up your local politics and join them and put your own houses, put your own life on the line.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, we have to make changes. Otherwise, like, we're here just podcasting, but like, what are we going to do? We need to go out locally and actually do stuff.
I got some plans.
Yeah, you got some plans, yeah. But what about other stuff like Black culture? Like specifically, like did you like later on in college after seeing like meeting and hanging out and studying with more like Chinese people? Were there more things that brought you to closer, like to hang out with them?
It was cool folk. I never had no like animosity, or I didn't know about them, so I never really formed an opinion on them.
Do you feel have a better opinion now of like, we're like the same? What makes us the same?
I've always believed we're the same. That's the thing. Growing up, I've always believed we're the same. But I've noticed people don't.
Yeah. Where did that come from then? You always believe that we're the same. Was that like your parents or just education? That simple as that as a person?
Because my mom never taught me that either.
Okay.
We don't have like hate in our family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just like, are they cool to us? And if they are, they're cool.
So like your mom, like everyone she went out of their way to help everybody in the community, and you always saw that, and so like
we always used to volunteer growing up and everything.
Oh, okay.
People. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we always used to help people. Yeah, I just noticed a lot of other people would just be against helping or against meeting people simply because of this idea of race that they don't even understand. Because Black is not a race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people say, I don't like Black people, and that's not a race.
Yeah, that's good because like from what I see in your like history, like your mom was a great example showing like treat people as people.
Yeah.
For me, I found the treat people as people oddly through anime and TV and movies.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it's like a different mentoring over time, finding people who actually represented more of like what I wanted in life.
Yeah. So you just need to see more, like it's like what you said, you saw ways to be better and think better through the internet. So I guess that's cool.
Yeah, and that's why I think like coming back to like the anime, the whole bridge is because like everyone saw
the same thing,
the justice, the heart of it. Like even now, like anime is shifting to like anime talk more. Like now people are really talking about like super representation.
Cool
yeah, but like shifting like representation of like I saw the comparisons like how are African Americans represented in anime culture, which is kind of funny how like anime brought a lot of people together, but now we're trying to shape anime in the sense of this is actually a Japanese thing, but we're trying to make anime more of a it's an everybody's thing. Like should it stay with the Japanese, or should we start having like these other companies coming in?
I believe it should stay with the Japanese because it's their culture.
Yeah, okay.
I believe we should have our own drawing.
So we need to come our own.
That's what I believe.
New version of like, I guess we call it Japanese anime now of a global anime. Which
we can get ideas and we can be inspired from them, but I believe we should create our own path.
Yeah.
And not just hop on theirs. So now this is going to the what you were worrying about earlier.
Oh yeah. The foundations of like what makes America or the differences. Yeah.
Do you believe America was made for everybody?
I think they were definitely moving in the right step forward of like it's setting up for everybody. I think that's why America today exists, because of how we have everybody in it. But was it originally for everyone? I think it was just mostly for like the religious freedoms, and then I think it's more for the scientific and logic was the reason that they broke out more, I would say.
Do you believe America was against anybody?
America was against anybody? No, to me, the only thing they were against is just the king. That's it. The British.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What phrase is in the current Declaration of Independence? 3-word phrase. Black African infidel, merciless Indian savages, or good white Christian, or all of the above?
Oh, I know, but those are okay. I know all three exist in there, but that's in the draft.
Nope.
I think the only one I've heard is it's just a good white Christian supposedly.
Nope.
Nothing. So I guess none of them then. Yeah.
Nope. Merciless Indian savages.
Okay.
That's in the current Declaration of Independence.
Sure.
America was against them.
All right. So
I just believe America, the Declaration against a Declaration of Independence was set up against the merciless Indian savages.
Just the savages, not the Great Britain Empire. That's why they want to separate.
I mean, yeah, them too. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
but I'm talking about like you said, America was made for everybody.
Well, yeah.
I don't believe it was. I believe it's like what these people say online.
I'm like, I wouldn't say like, oh, they're thinking of everybody like around the world. I think they're just white people coming in, but
no, the Indians were the people that were here, not the ones in Asia.
Right. No, the Native Americans, yes. I know they call them Indian savages, but no, I don't think like it was like they made this so that anyone could be here.
Yeah, they did.
Originally,
that's what people want it to be now. That's what I mean. My bad. I didn't say that. Right.
I'm like confused.
They want it to be that now when it was not that in the past.
I think that's fine to have those two things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was my question.
What was the question?
Do you believe America was made for everybody? When it was made, when it was created.
First time? Oh yeah, no. That's
And also along with that, when they made the Declaration of Independence, black people were still enslaved.
Yeah.
So I think America was against those two groups at the beginning of the nation.
Well, actually, so there's funny because Thomas Jefferson was a big writer against it. I know that they had it.
No, this is his.
I don't know. Version. I know that he had. There's several versions. So there's one where originally they had the slave trades that Thomas Jefferson wrote that he condemned the slave trades, but the southern South Carolina convinced him to remove it from sending it. Right.
Yeah.
So he was going to say like to King George because King George was actually trying to turn slaves against the Americans. If you join the British and rebel against the Americans, you would have your freedom as a slave. So like Thomas, it's like weird. Like, that's
so even in that sense, they were against black people.
How was he against black people?
No, not him. The people who like the Southerners.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so that's what we learned in slave trade was that the Southern people. They were I would say like today, the capitalists. They wanted that free labor. If they lost that free labor, they would be back to paying people to pick all that stuff. And the cotton was a lot of South thing. Mm-hmm. Thomas Jefferson was like the North, so the North people, they didn't have to do farm labor or anything. So they were more like the educated, wealthy bankers, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. Or like they made money off of other things than just plantations. So it was always a fight of like the South versus North, which is why we had the Civil War. That's why I say like it's like I don't think the Declaration and the foundation like they try to do good, but again, America is a twisted place, which I agree.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't think that's wrong to believe that either. Like America was not made. It was a complex question. People want the current America today to be made for everybody.
That is fair, and I think it's shifted a lot to be like that for everybody. It's just
I feel like that's why we're having all of this anger and fighting in America. Like ICE and all that. People mad at immigrants. People mad at black people.
But do you think it's really more racism or the one in America because of that, or is it something else like more than?
No, I believe it's a foundational thing because America was not created like how it is supposed to be today, and I feel like the foundations of America is mad at what it is become.
Yeah, I think the foundations definitely set up the system for a lot of powerful white and rich, But I think even back then, it was my take still is like, yeah, where more people talk about it's more of a classist thing. Like, if you think about the foundations of America as a classist, think about when they came over.
But they brought in race.
Well, yeah, because that's what happened, and that's what the British was using.
Yeah, the foundation is a racist foundation.
Yeah, and in terms of everything, like I said, I blame more of
That's why I don't believe a lot of American technologies when it comes to race. Because they do it to influence their own agenda.
That's if you assume every single person.
Not every single
company,
one,
right?
but a lot of them. A lot of people around America want to influence their own type of people. And America promotes that ideology.
Yeah, well, coming back to like the sciences, when you talk about the logics, I think a lot of these companies are science-based and they focus on just simply where the science goes.
Yeah, no.
Now there are biases in the sciences.
I'm not saying, the bias is what I'm talking about. And biases can be created throughout history. Especially like 500, 600 years. And when you're killing everybody and moving places and moving millions of people from where you can do anything to biology.
Yeah, I mean,
like me. People would still say I'm African and I can show you my native heritage.
Yeah, you could be.
And that is a racist lie. That's what I'm saying.
So, but I mean, why can't you also be native and both African?
I am.
Yeah. So,
but I'm not African. I haven't been to Africa.
So, okay. Well, in the sense of like, yeah,
Africa
you have
is
been
a
in
continent.
the culture, sure, and then you have been in Africa. But then if they were to figure out like so you just simply treat yourself African just because you just haven't been there and lived there and been.
I have African blood. I have people in my bloodline who are from Africa.
Yeah, you have. Okay, so that's.
But that's not the only place.
Right, I know. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so just more like your blood, and you don't ever will consider yourself African, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not pure African.
Yeah, but how? Well, actually, I'm curious. Who calls you pure African?
White people.
Oh well, that's just that's like,
American.
Yeah, that's white people. Yeah, but
that's American. A lot of foreigners when they come here.
Yeah.
Like Hispanics when they come here, they'll be like, "Oh, they're African."
Yeah.
They're black African.
So, question then, because like when it comes to the slave trade, do you blame more of America or do you blame more of the British?
For the slave trade?
Yeah.
I blame humanity.
Oh, you blame humanity?
Because I gotta be mad at the Africans too. They have accepted that they've done wrong though.
Okay.
So I can't be too mad. But America has not accepted that they've done wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Well, do you think they haven't? Well, yeah, they're wrong after using
because they did the UN vote and they voted no against that.
Oh, America voted
no against the greatest.
To be fair, right now the person who's under the influence of the president would definitely vote no matter what.
Right.
I'll say like if you put any other president.
To be fair, you're right.
I would say we would have a better odd that they may have voted differently. But
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was just say like, oh yeah, of course. If you talk about who voted no, like, well, who's sitting right now in presidency? That's why we're doing this podcast because this guy is just crazy. Last president, he would have probably voted yes. Well, and then before that, but then if you went back to, again, this current president who was somehow seated back then and now, yeah, he would vote that twice. I think, I don't know actually, how far back do you think we would actually say no? I think most presidents would say yes.
Oh, I think Obama would say yes.
Yeah.
I think before then.
I think Joe would say yes.
Joe would say yes.
I actually would believe George Bush would say yes, Jr. I start to question back maybe senior.
Yeah. See, that's what. Senior. Yeah. I don't know.
Man, well, that didn't happen, so that's sad. But yeah.
I know. Okay, now for my last question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the butterfly effect?
Yeah, I do like to believe the butterfly effect. Yeah. Do
you believe in it in the sense of real life, for like the butterfly effect? Let me describe it actually before. I didn't even describe this.
I mean, everyone heard of like a flap of a wing can cause super big, like tiny things can make super giant changes down the line.
Yeah. So, the butterfly effect is the idea that a small, tiny action can lead to a massive or unexpected result down the line.
Yeah.
Do you believe that in the terms of real life, or like I've noticed a lot of people only believe in the butterfly effect in the term of like some made up time travel type of sense.
Oh, sci-fi. I mean, I don't think it's
I believe it's real.
I believe it's real, and I think sci-fi has done a good job because you can't live long enough to see if that was the case. I like the same thing with the there's like a Japanese term for like the like red herring or red fish fish story, where a simple basic story can cause giant effects. Same thing as that. But I believe they are in real life. Like if I did something small now, it would make super big changes, and I think I see that in history for sure.
Yeah. And you know, I bring up this because I believe America is going through its own butterfly effect. Because all the things that it did in the past were real.
Yeah.
And I believe in the butterfly effect. So something is going to happen.
Well, was this something? Because I think it's already happening, and
I think it's happening. Yeah, and I think it's bigger. And I think it's going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, but which side are you leaning to? Because I see it as, right now, the butterfly effect of how America was founded created like two branches that are going on, which is like America that could be better.
I think that's a symptom of the butterfly effect. I think that's part of the entire...
Yeah.
That's what I think so. Because the way I look at the left and the right in America, it's a division. Yeah. It's a mental division in America.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, that's... Any division can cause fighting.
Yep.
And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. So how do you think we should fix that?
I don't think it can be fixed.
Until what? Why?
Whatever happens to America happens. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, so there's like this ominous, something's going to happen to America so big.
Something's happening now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're just going to have to wait and see, because as we keep going into the future, America is going to keep changing. Like, as I keep doing this podcast, there'll be more and more events, like down the months, weeks and months, you know, I'm doing this. I want to see how America changes.
Yeah,
you know?
Maybe like in between, see what has like, because to bring up the Rick Chat, I didn't know that since like the other podcast.
Yeah. That's an individual thing, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't contribute. I wouldn't put him into the entire community of like Asian people, because I don't even do that to like white people or black people. A lot of people do it to black people, but I don't do that to any other group. Like if a racist white person does something, like that's just that person. You know, it's like that for any other group. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you can really put on people is like culture stuff, like I know a lot of Chinese people like to eat noodles.
Yeah,
that's not racist. No. That's just like that's.
Well, no, like tell me like not racist, but like then you talk about the now we're talking about like the racial stereotypes growing up, right?
But that's not. Is it like
a bad or the good? Or is it a good thing you think on the stereotypes? Stereotypes rather.
Yeah, I think stereotypes are bad if you use it in a negative way. Like I like watermelon. Okay. I hate when you say it in a
too general sense, I guess.
No. Oh yeah, not in a too general sense, because a lot of black people do. But it's no, it's bad when it like historically it was used in a negative connotation.
Yes, because if they like it or whatever.
And then a lot of people,
because that's how they made money in businesses back then. So I get that. Yeah.
And I hate it when people still use it in that negative way.
Yeah. Well, how does it use in a negative way? Honestly, it's hard to kind of, other than like laugh at those people who try to use watermelon as a negative way. Because
like if I went to China and I were to like look for noodles, am I gonna not find them?
No, you're gonna find them. You're gonna find them. Corner,
and I wouldn't say that's a negative thing. I think it's just an attribute of the way of life over there.
Yeah.
But here, things like that have been skewed so bad because of the history of America. That's one of those butterfly effects I'm talking about. Like our view of food is messed up because of the history here. Like, what the heck? If I go to Mexico, I know I'll find a lot of Mexican food, but for some reason that's like racist or something. You know what I'm saying? It's not racist. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's just, I think it depends on like how it's delivered or who uses it.
Yeah, and we need to deconstruct things.
Yeah. Or I mean, okay, but should we still even say general things, like saying, because, for example, like you have like all Africans or rather, I guess in this term of like black people love watermelons.
Black Americans.
Yeah, Black Americans maybe. Yeah, Black Americans love watermelon, and then like the
not
Asians
all Black Americans though.
I know they don't.
Yeah,
but that's what stereotypes are. They just want to generalize it. So
is that so?
That's how most people use it. Really. It's
so let me go back to
prejudice.
Let me go back to what I said. I don't know much about Chinese culture. What is the food source over there? Like, what do you guys eat?
Oh, I mean, yeah,
because we eat a lot of soul food. Yeah, we eat a lot of soul food. We eat a lot of chicken.
Well, yes, rice, chicken is probably big, and then like a lot of vegetables and tomatoes and eggs, and then there's like stuff that just only exists in like in Asia that you don't see here. So like Chinese spinach, all these type of stuff. These vegetables you wouldn't find in like a local market because it's just not native here. So that's food that you would find. But yeah, we eat like a lot of rice, a lot of chicken, heavily on chicken. Pig is like one big one that most people unless it's
Because you guys
barbecue.
eat chitlins. You guys eat chitlins, don't you?
In a way, yeah. In terms of like
The
I guess
intestines?
the intestines, yeah,
Yeah.
we eat intestines in different ways, yeah.
Yeah. And I only bring this up because, like, I think it's important to know what people eat. Because I don't want to go somewhere and you bring me cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's bad, but you know.
Yeah.
Like,
But
bring me
also
some food I'd like to eat.
I mean, yeah, you get all sorts of food, which is like, unfortunately, if we were to have like a whole different podcast on just the food and the
That'd be cool.
historical and I would love.
That'd be
I
so
can go
cool.
into like more history of like more food stuff, but
Yeah.
but when it comes to, like the stereotypes, I was talking about like not just like for example like black like Americans would be the most athletic and would be like the best performers, and then you have like.
I don't know if that's
Chinese,
a bad stereotype, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like stereotypes in general, people always think is bad because it is based on generalizing a race on a certain stereotype.
Yeah.
Even though there's some people who have dubbed like the a racial compliment or a racist compliment in the sense of like, for example, Asians are better at math and nonsense stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like just because it's good, it doesn't mean that they're trying to still group you as a whole and either like knock you down just because of like whatever, like because it's weird that like we got the we're good at math and we're disciplined, hardworking, the good so-called racial stereotypes, but then the black Americans in history got the bad stereotypes, other than they're great for doing work but they're bad for everything else in terms of whatever's doing. So like stereotypes, that's why I'm saying like general stereotypes not good. I don't think you could ever use it. I mean, people use it good today because there's like context, nuance.
I think it
obviously
can be good.
joke.
I think the history has made us see it bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would love for people to acknowledge my culture and acknowledge who I am.
Yeah.
But the thing is about America is that it's been acknowledged in a harmful way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I acknowledge your culture in a good way, would you actually be upset?
No, like I said that's
You
what I
see
think.
what I'm
With like
saying?
us, like we laugh like that's who we are. We're honest about it, and then when we know that your intent is bad, we call it. Now you're trying to be mean.
That's what
can
I'm
tell.
talking about.
Yeah.
And in America, it's been used so horribly.
Yeah, more as a mean thing than a good thing.
Yeah, but I don't mean it in a mean way.
No, yeah, obviously, yes.
Me. And the thing is, all of the stuff that has happened from all of those racial stereotypes wasn't even people from my group. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even make up these racial stereotypes. My group didn't make up these racial stereotypes.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can connect over real differences between us. Like, what you eat and what I eat. Because if you come up to me, if a Chinese person were to come up to me and were like, oh, I like soul food. Do you know where some soul food is? I would not be upset.
Yeah.
Because I would honestly assume, like, you really don't know where to get soul food, and I would show it to you. Because, like, it's cool to see someone who also likes soul food.
Yeah, or at least, like, understand and know what Chinese... Which is, like... Look, it's just kind of cool because coming back to like food now is like a fun topic. Like you get to have like when I look for like black food, I can ask for soul food. Yeah. But you ask for Chinese food. Yeah. You're not gonna get real Chinese food. You're gonna get the most whitewashed Chinese version. And then when I think at the way when I took you when you came for the actual what Chinese food looked like. Yeah. That's more authentic.
Because I get the whitewash version.
Yeah, we're not the
not to
just
be
general.
Racist, but. Like in history, they whitewash things, but
like the general souls, which like it is actually authentically like created, but and then the flavor brought over. But then like the Chinese broccoli or beef and broccoli and
would you
orange
get
chicken
upset
stuff.
If like a black person came up to you and was like, do you know where I can get some authentic Chinese food?
No, I was like, I would like because you asked like I want authentic like native. Then you're at least curious and open to learn. I'm like let me teach you. And hospitality is a big which. In our culture, it's like, we want to feed you a ton. We want you leaving more full because in superstition, if we have more to give away, then more will come back to us in a sense. So that's why like we would overfeed you and all that stuff. And also, it's just a good sign of prosperity. Like if you have more to give to others, then that means that you're prosperous, you're doing good in life, and you're taking care of other people.
Yeah. But that's what I mean in the sense of like the racial stereotypes can be bad. Yeah. But it's only bad because they've been used bad. It's because our history is bad behind it. But if we have a new history where it's not used bad, no one would care. Yeah. That's why I want to start with the podcast. Like we start using it in a good sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always seen it in like so much like YouTube or internet content. Like you see all the jokes that like Black Americans and Chinese Americans would do with one another, but we
It'll
get
be
it because it's coming from a much harder place.
A better place. It's not coming from an evil, hateful place.
Yeah, but then for some reason when you watch like a white American do it, and it's like
they're doing it to make fun of you.
Yeah, and also you're just hitting it wrong, that you're either not doing it justice or enough. It's like for example, the most recent like TikTok trends of the accents, like doing the white. So
I've seen that. That doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like my thing is like, why are you worried about these people?
Yeah.
You know.
Now I'll say it's hard to watch. Also, like watching, like I was like watching, like okay, let me see a Chinese person do other accents. Like okay, no, it does feel off, because I can tell like there's like a weird line that now everyone's seeing it. We can see like, oh, we understand the behavior of intent now. Now I see like, oh, this Chinese person is not exactly, he just wants to sound this way just for funny or make fun of. And you can see like either even with some Black Americans where they try to do Chinese or other stuff, it's hit or miss, and you can kind of see like, oh, you were just wanting to do the Chinese accent just for either make fun or not trying to do it legit-me. And some people I can see like you're earnestly trying, but it comes out cringy. But yeah, I think we're like getting better where we're like more one type of people, because we
gotta be one.
Yeah, I always grew up like, you know, why are we doing these nations? I always like, we're from Earth. We should all just be Earthians, and that's it, and we're done.
Yeah, people got grudges.
Yeah,
people got grudges. That's why I think a lot of his like with the European Americans and the Black Americans.
Yeah,
I think it's a historical thing way back from Europe, when the Moors were there. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
I think they're just still mad about that.
I mean, if you talk about British and China,
Spain.
Well,
you're talking about Chinese.
Yeah, talking about like the same. There is a long-standing history of like Chinese and British. We didn't like, because they brought the opioids. So that's a history of like, this historical, like, you know, we just want to stay off. You guys stay over your side. We don't want to do too much. That's why China has been so. They want to take care of everything themselves. Like, you know, they build the manufacturing, which is smart. Like, they have a lot of land, they have a lot of power.
Yeah. And
like, we learned that through history, and there's many like older, but it's strange to say like China has the longest history. It's more like it's just been consolidated so much. I mean, Europe has long history too, but
everywhere has long history, but a lot of stuff has been destroyed.
Yeah, and China has kept a lot of it and learned from history. Like, you know, it was actually. Over time, I can see why like they're more of a recluse. Like, you know, let's just stay at home, make my house, take care of everything, make sure I have like the gym, everything, all the entertainment, all the food. I don't ever have to step out, because honestly, every time I step out, something crazy happens, and that's what China feels like. Every time, like, well, we step out, we get hit with like these drug problems. We step out, it's not. We might as well just rely on ourselves and our own people.
I think the world just needs better outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. On my movement, my little movement, one people.
Yeah.
That's my little movement, one people. If you want to join the movement, you just say, we are one people.
Yeah, I like that. One people. That's good, man.
Cool, man. So, yep, that's the episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, drop a comment and see did you grow up with other, like, you know, other Asians, other African Americans? What was your history like? Drop in the comments. We'd love to hear what your experiences were like. So thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Peace.
Look, peace. I'm not going. I speak on where the real plot going. How you make a lot out of little beat potent. Freeze, I do not now ever stop motion. Real high ride, you just never got exposure. Told you, dealing with me gotta be fast. Concrete, I seen them fold, I seen them crash. Not me, 10 of my toes still on my pad. Godspeed, I put her on right on the badge. Not going. Speak on where the real plot going. How you make a lot out of little beat potent. Freeze, I do not now ever stop motion. Real high ride, you just never got exposure. Told you, dealing with me gotta be fast. Concrete, I seen them fold, I seen them crash. Not me, 10 of my toes still on my pad. Godspeed, I put her on right on the dash.